Hey, and welcome to the Creative Marketing Show. I'm your host, Angela S. Joyon. This is the podcast for ambitious women in business looking to cut the BS, stop dancing for likes, and learn to create honest and genuine marketing strategies that don't cause burnout and overwhelm. Have a question about content creation, social media, or maybe you're looking for more clarity on how to take your business to the next level. This is the show that brings the answers to your questions each and every week. Okay, I get it. I know what you're thinking. Not another social media app. But hear me out. If you have heard the latest app from Meta and, well, Instagram, it is called Threads. And it just launched literally, I believe, just over 24 hours ago at the time of this recording. And it is already blowing up. And I'm not going to lie, I jumped right in and I'm kind of digging it. So I thought, this as a bonus episode, I was just going to share my first few takes on Threads, and maybe it'll help you decide if this is right for you. And so basically what Threads is, it's built by Instagram, and it's really for sharing text updates and starting public conversations. Now, if you've ever been on Twitter, yeah, it kind of feels and sounds similar to Twitter. I used to be on Twitter. I don't have time for it. But because I've invested so much time into Instagram, I was really curious to see, okay, like how could this work for me? And what I love about it just so far in the less than 24 hours, and side note, it was the first app I actually opened up this morning before even going to Instagram, which is kind of bizarre. But what I love about it is I do like that it's a conversation piece. So when you think of a thread, like a text thread, like if you have a text thread going through with your friends, it's a great opportunity to start some conversation and, see what people are thinking about it and reacting. And in multiple kind of segments. So I think that it's really interesting. It's certainly a lot less pressure than feeling like, oh my gosh, I have to have the right photo or I have to have the right video and I need to be on trend. Like even hashtags, as of the timing of this recording, don't seem to be necessary. So that's really interesting. A few things to make note of that make the new app kind of awesome. For one, your post can have up to 500 characters and you can include links. So that's something, of course, in captions on Instagram that we've been missing out on. So in order to like direct people to specific links, that's pretty sweet to be able to have that. You can add photos and you can add videos that go up to 5 minutes. And so that also makes it really easy to share quick information and have a little bit of a blend, but you don't have to, which is what I really enjoy about it. Like you don't have to post a photo. It's not required. So you really don't need any visuals. So if you're in the type of business where you want to have more conversations and share education or important information, or just really be able to network and engage with other people, Threads is probably where you should be hanging out. Another bonus of it, because it's all intertwined with Instagram, Threads are easy to share to your Instagram story. So that's really nice to onboard maybe some new users, or if they didn't catch it on your Instagram, to head over to Threads. And I will say, like any social media app, what we've seen in the past is usually for early adopters, you might be able to have more success. Now, that's not guaranteed. I mean, you've got to put the work in, but something to think about. Instagram is making this easy for you. If you have an Instagram account, you're going to be very, very easy to set up over on Threads. In fact, it just basically mimics your entire Instagram profile over to Threads. So whatever you've got going on Instagram, it's going to translate immediately. And when you join, you actually have the option of just choosing to follow all of your followers already and have it and like follow them over on Threads like easily. So you don't have to try and go out and, look for the people that you already know and like and trust and want to connect with. You have the option of just checking that, and that's going to translate over as well. So that's kind of a nice feature too. And already since it's launched, when I look at my home feed, now I'm going to also see people that I've chosen to follow. I'm going to see what they are sharing. And of course, as Instagram loves to do, there's going to be a lot of recommended posts. So you'll see a lot of, people you don't actually follow, but things that are suggested for you coming up, which is also kind of cool because if you see something and you're like, oh, that's an interesting conversation and I want to participate in on it, it's easy to drop your own thoughts and be a part of that thread conversation. And it's very similar, as I mentioned, like with Twitter, where you can also like reshare the threads, which I think is really useful as well. You know me, I'm all about repurposing content. So if someone's sharing a message and you're like, oh, that's exactly what I really want to share, you can, reshare it to your own profile without having to, to create it yourself. And that's just another great way to like network and connect with others. I actually shared something that Mosseri, so Mosseri is the head of Instagram, because I've been seeing a lot of people already posting like, wow, I just joined Threads. Hey, everyone, not quite sure, what I'm doing over here. And so I thought it was really interesting. So this was something I reposted, and right from Mosseri was, for those of you trying to think about what to post here on Threads versus on Instagram, my take is it's less about text versus photos and videos and more about public conversations. So do you want to engage in more of a back and forth? Then Threads makes sense. If not, probably stick with Instagram. So I found that really interesting because that's kind of the first thought is, especially as a business, is Threads a place for me? Now, I have a few clients and their brand is very visual. And so we do a lot of that through storytelling, through imagery and video. So for that client, if they came to me and said, "And should I be on Threads?" my suggestion would be probably not. We've already invested a lot into Instagram as well as getting started on TikTok. That would make more sense. Now, for someone in a service-based industry like myself, I have a podcast, so I'm already having these like public conversations. Hell yeah, I'm jumping on Threads. I want to see if this is something that can really coexist well with my podcast platform and what I've already started on Instagram. So start to look back at your own business and think, is this somewhere I can be? Or maybe you just want to be a participant and view conversations and participate a little bit separately that way. Not a bad idea. So I will say something that stuck out that I saw shared. Again, the app has only been live for like maybe 26 hours at this point, that someone had posted. They had gone through the, we never read the rules and the terms, like the small print. We're just like, yeah, over. But what's interesting is if you don't want to deactivate your profile, but want to change who can see your posts, you can set profile to private or block someone's profile. So same kind of rules that Instagram has. And I will say, like, if you have anybody blocked on your Instagram, that's going to transcend over to Threads. So I do like that ease where it basically mimics all of your settings that you set up on Instagram. But what's very interesting, and this is what he highlighted, is you can always delete individual posts. So on Threads, you can delete something. To delete your Threads profile and data, you'll need to delete your Instagram account. So far, that's in the fine print, which is kind of interesting. You could kind of fret about it. I'll be honest, I'm not too worried about it at this point because I feel like I'm going to be an active user on Threads. But that's just a good reminder of always reading the fine print. So, if I had seen that before jumping on Threads, would I have jumped on? I might have taken pause to consider what that looks like. But I'm really enjoying Threads, so I'm actually okay with it. So there's a little rundown on Threads. If you want to find me, I'm on Instagram at angela.s.doyon. It's the same on Threads. So I hope we can connect over there and let's chat about, what's going on in terms of business and marketing and social media and having more conversations over there without having to, add the right music and have the great video or imagery. So give it a shout. I love to know what you think of Threads. So send me a DM, send me a message, start a conversation, tag me, all that good stuff. I'm very curious to hear what you think. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in to this, kind of pop-up bonus episode. I love jumping on here and sharing, so I've got more to come on the Creative Marketing Show. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day.